Hello, and welcome back to the Chess Problem Challenge. Today's topic is Checkmate with Bishop. Here is problem number 13. In this problem, the king is on g6, and the bishops are on e7 and e6. The black king is on h8. Now it's a good time to pause and find the right solution. Okay, let's take a look. So the black king is in the corner and it's already trapped because the king cannot go down because the white king is attacking the h7 and g7 squares. The black king cannot go to the left of the g8 square because the bishop on e6, the white squared bishop, is blocking that square. So, which bishop will do checkmate? Right, the one that's on the dark colored squares, because the black king is on a dark colored square. So if we take the bishop and put on the same diagonal as the black king, this will be checkmate. Great. Let's go move on to problem number 14. In problem number 14, we have the white king on f8, the bishop on b2, the black king on h8, and the black bishop on g8, and the black pawn on h7 and f6. Now it's a good time to pause and find the right answer. Okay, so in this position, the black king has been trapped by its own pieces because he cannot move to the left or down because of his bishop and pawn. He also cannot escape diagonally because our white king on f8 is preventing him from doing so. So that leaves us with the white bishop. The white bishop right now is not checking the king because the pawn on f6 is in its way. So if we take the bishop and take the pawn on f6, now nothing is blocking the white bishop, and now it is checkmate. Now let's move on to problem number 15. In problem number 15, we have the king on g3, we have the bishop on g2, we have another bishop on g5, and the black king is on g1. Now it's a good time to pause and think of what to do next for white. Okay, again, if we look at the black king, it is stuck. The king cannot go anywhere. If the king tries to go left and right, he is stopped by the bishop on g2. If he tries to move away diagonally upwards, the white king is preventing him from doing that. So, which bishop is gonna do checkmate? Correct, the dark colored bishop on g5. If we take that bishop and put it on the same diagonal as the black king, this will make a checkmate. Great. Let's move on to problem number 16. In problem number 16, we have the white king on h6, we have the bishop on d3, we have the black king on g8, the black rook on f8 and black pawns on f7 and h7 and a black bishop on h8. Now it's a good time to pause and try your best. Okay, let's take a look. So the black king is again surrounded by his own pieces. So he doesn't have much room to move around at all. The only available square is g7, but that is blocked by the white king on h6. That leaves us with the white bishop going diagonally to eat the pawn on h7 and declare checkmate to the black king. Now for problem number 16. In this problem, we have the white king on h8. We have the white bishop on d3. We have the black king on a8. We have the black pawn on a7, and we have the black bishop on b8. Now it's a good time to pause and think. Okay, again, in this example, the black king is surrounded by his own pieces. The king can only escape to one square, and that is b7. Right. If we take the white squared bishop and put it to e4, it will prevent the king from going to b7 and also declared checkmate. Great job. Now we can move on to problem number 17. In problem number 17, we have the king on g1. We have the bishop on g5 and the knight on h6. For black, we have the king on h8. We have the rook on f8 and the black pawns on f7, g6, and h7. Now it's a good time to pause and do your best. Okay, so the black king is in the corner, but it's not completely stuck, because even though he cannot move to king g8 because of the knight, he could still escape to king g7. But g7 and h8 lie on the same diagonal. That's why the bishop can move on to that diagonal, attacking the black king and at the same time blocking the g7 square and declaring checkmate. Now we could move on to our problem number 18. In this problem, we have the king on b4. We have the bishop on h3. We have the black king on a6 and the pawns on a7 and b6. Now it's a good time to pause and find the checkmate with the bishop. Okay, let's take a look. The black king has only one square to go, and that is to b7. He cannot go down because of the white king, and obviously he cannot eat his pawns. Now the white bishop has two ways to attack the king. He can go down to f1 or go up to c8. Now, if he goes down to f1, even though this will be attack to king, it will not be checkmate because the black has two ways to get up. They could either fall back to b7 with the black king or block the check altogether by pushing the pawn up. That's why if you found bishop to c8, this is the correct solution because now the black king has nothing to fall back on and he cannot go anywhere. And this is checkmate. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.